Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In our last video, we discussed the virtues of knowledge, of ilm. In this video, we'll be discussing the rights that knowledge has upon us. And before we discuss the rights that knowledge has upon us, we again want to clarify what we mean by knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Talub al-ilmi faydatun ala kulli Muslim," that to seek knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. But what knowledge is obligatory? The knowledge that is obligatory is that we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We understand the reality of Tawheed and we understand how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we know who Allah is, the reality of Tawheed, and how to worship Him. And so therefore, every Muslim, they need to know how to pray and they need to know how to read the Quran, etc. And then for each Muslim, they have to know the rulings pertaining to whatever field they're in. So for example, if you're in business, you need to know the halal and haram of business. So therefore, the first right that knowledge has upon us is that we learn it. That we can't use the excuse that we are ignorant. So somebody who wants to go into business, they have to learn the rulings of business, what's halal and what's haram. And then the second right that knowledge has upon us is that we act upon it. You know, somebody can learn the rulings of halal and haram, but then they don't apply it, and they do haram and they don't do the halal, then it won't benefit them. So you have to learn it, you have to act upon it. And third, you need to be sincere. That somebody can learn knowledge, they can act upon it, but then they're doing it to show off to other people, and then this knowledge will not benefit them. In fact, it comes in a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, if anyone acquires knowledge that should be sought seeking the face of Allah, but he acquires it only to get some worldly advantage, he will not experience the fragrance of paradise. So the person who acquires knowledge, but not for the sake of Allah, and that knowledge which was meant only for the sake of Allah, but he does it for dunya, they won't even smell the fragrance of paradise. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. So these are the rights that knowledge has upon us. And then, of course, a fourth is we should teach others the knowledge that we have, right? We should spread the knowledge. And what's important here is somebody can spend their life acquiring knowledge that will be useless, right? There's a lot of knowledge and information that doesn't benefit them. Somebody could get knowledge which is beneficial, but then they don't act upon it, and then it won't benefit them. Somebody can act upon it but not be sincere, and again, it won't benefit them. So we need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us knowledge which will benefit us. And that's why one of the du'as of the Prophet ﷺ that I used to say every morning is Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiyan wa rizqan tayyiban wa amalan mutaqabbalan. Oh Allah, I ask you for knowledge which is beneficial, for rizq, for sustenance which is pure, and actions which are accepted. So this is a dua that we should say every morning. And another dua that the Prophet ﷺ used to say is he used to seek refuge from knowledge which does not benefit. The Prophet ﷺ would say in a dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from knowledge which does not benefit. Min qalbin la yakhsha. From a heart that does not fear. Min nafsin la tashba. From a nafs, from a soul that is not satisfied. Min da'watin la yustajabu laha. And from a dua, a supplication which is not answered. So these two du'as we can learn and we can say, and we should understand again the rights that knowledge has upon us. Because knowledge is not just information, but knowledge is a light that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts inside our hearts that should transform us and get us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that, we'll conclude our section on knowledge. In our next video, we'll be discussing the second quality related to how to develop spiritual health, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.